Hello, I'm Dr. Larry Burk, a holistic radiologist at Duke and a dream tapping coach at Oriental Health Solutions. Uh, this recording was made after a month of lockdown in the pandemic, so my hair is a bit longer than usual. Uh, this presentation was originally designed to address fear and anxiety during the pandemic, but I'm going to make it generalizable so you can use it anytime in the future. I'm going to now share the screen and start the slideshow. So topic is emotional freedom techniques, EFT for fear and anxiety. The CEHP after my name stands for Certified Energy Health Practitioner, which is related to my EFT coaching activities. I was co-founder of Duke Integrative Medicine in 1998, and my website is larryburk.com, where you can find lots of blogs and other free information on EFT, hypnosis, and dream work, which are the three things that I specialize in as a coach. I'm going to take you through a couple of the books that I wrote in the last decade. Let Magic Happen, Adventures in Healing with a Holistic Radiologist. It was published in 2012, and it chronicles my journey from mainstream conventional radiology into holistic medicine coaching. The next book is Dreams That Can Save Your Life, Early Warning Signs of Cancer and Other Diseases, co-authored with Kathleen O'Keefe Cannabis in 2018. She was one of the research subjects in my breast cancer dreams research project, and 18 of those women are featured in, their stories are featured in this book, which is mainly focused on people who are able to dream their cancers before they have any symptoms or any other physical signs. Now, getting into EFT, energy therapies like EFT are called acupressure for emotions. The endpoints of the meridians are used to help balance the meridians in the body's energy system. Typical acupuncture charts you can see here on the right. Now, I wrote this blog with a catchy title in 2013, which went viral because people liked the title, The Tipping Point for Tapping. That year was when Dawson Church published his breakthrough article, Psychological Trauma and Symptom Improvement in Veterans Using EFT, a randomized controlled trial, in a major mainstream psychiatric journal, the Journal of Nervous and Mental Disease. He showed a dramatic reduction of PTSD in 80% of 49 veterans at 6 months after only 6 sessions. The gold standard at that point was CBT exposure therapy, demonstrating 40% reduction in symptoms after 12 sessions. So EFT was shown to be twice as fast and twice as effective. And Dawson would often joke that if this was a pill, he'd be on the cover of the Wall Street Journal. That same year, the American Psychological Association finally approved CE credits for energy psychotherapy after 10 years of lawsuits and disputes because it wasn't conventional form of psychotherapy. David Feinstein, a psychologist who is also Don Eden's husband, Don Eden of energy medicine fame, published this review article, Acupoint Stimulation in Treating Psychological Disorders, Evidence of Efficacy, in the Review of General Psychology, which is an APA journal. At that time, there were 18 randomized controlled trials. There are now over 50. So the evidence base for EFT's efficacy is increasing dramatically every year. Everyone always asks, how does it work? So I use an EFT computer metaphor. An emotional shock is installed in the meridians as a malware program that is downloaded in the limbic system with the reminder phrase is the file name. So limbic system is your emotional processing center of your brain. And you can think of every trauma you ever had has a file up there. It's got a picture, a story, and this program that runs. And it'll take your body back to the scene of the original experience. And if you're a military veteran with battlefield trauma, you'll have a flashback that's triggered by any number of things, and you'll go right back to the physical experience of being at the battlefield. So when we do EFT, We repeat the phrase, which starts the program running, triggers an energetic flashback, and then we hit the delete key by tapping on the acupuncture points, and it uninstalls it, just like you're hitting the delete key on your computer. When the file is saved again and the memory is reconsolidated, which is the technical neurophysiologic term for it, the emotional charge is removed, resulting in emotional freedom. Next time you revisit that file, you'll see the picture in the story, but there'll be no malware program to run your body. David Feinstein wrote another article about how energy psychology changes deep emotional learnings back in 2015, which is worth looking at as well. So where do we start? We do the EFT self-acceptance statement, which is a paradoxical affirmation. Even though I have this fear and anxiety, I deeply and completely accept myself. You fill in the blank with whatever reminder phrase you're using for the file regarding a specific upsetting event and the emotion that goes with it. And then you rub on the sore spot on your upper chest between the ribs. It's usually just below the middle of the collarbone, in between the ribs and the sore spot. And you repeat the statement 3 times while you're rubbing on that spot. The other alternative is to tap on the karate chop point, which is done with hardcore groups I find, like Narcotics Anonymous, policemen, military veterans. But otherwise, I just use the sore spot because it evokes a lot more emotional response. So this is the chart of the acupuncture points that we use, photoshopped on my face from a picture that Dagmar took. You can see there's 9 points, and we made up a different name for our protocol, EDANVIR, because Gary Craig, the developer of EFT, said if you're going to modify his protocol, make up your own name for it. So we wanted something that sounded like a drug. So EDANVIR, we're here in the research triangle. It sounds like it's supposed to immunize you to stress. And this protocol you'll be experiencing is a amalgam of all my different teachers and mentors, and I've created my own composite version. And I'll take you through the general outline here, and then we'll start tapping. So the EFT protocol summary is you say the reminder phrase while you're rubbing on that sore spot and assess the subjective units of distress from 0 to 10, the SUD score. And this is how your body responds to that thought about that reminder phrase. So 0, no response in your body at all. 10, worst thing you ever felt in your life. And then you do the self-acceptance statement 3 times while you're rubbing on that sore spot. And then we begin the tapping sequences. And we repeat the reminder phrase and tap on each acupoint about 7 times with usually second and third fingers. And you're tapping hard enough to make a noise, but not to leave a dent in your head. And then you wind up, the last point is on top of your head. We're going to repeat that sequence 4 times, alternating sides back and forth, and then reevaluate the SUD score at the end. We're going to add positive phrases every other point when we get to the 3rd sequence. And then the last sequence will have all points being positive phrases, because we want to have deleted the negative program and put in a positive program that we want. In general, you tap until your score goes to 0. You laugh, or you just get bored tapping on that same phrase over and over again. You can also repeat the process for different aspects of a particular issue, because it's important to get all the particular features cleared out of your memory bank. Other secrets to EFT are to add more emotionally charged emphatic language to reminder phrases if you're not getting anywhere with the initial approach, which means scream or cry when you're tapping. Be persistent and be specific. Those are Gary Craig's 3 secrets to tapping. And this is a summary of my generic protocol, and now we're going to start tapping. EDANVIR stands for energize, which is rubbing on the sore spot. Desensitize, we're going to repeat that same negative phrase over and over again. Awfulize means we're going to exaggerate the negative and go deeper, as deep as we can into the issue to get to the bottom of it. Neutralize, it's going to get kind of crazy. We're going to go negative and positive back and forth, just play along, and it should have the desired effect. Then finally, we're going to be visualizing and tapping in all the positive features that you want in the new program. Along the way, we're going to be doing internalize is color breath work by breathing in your favorite color, breathe out a nasty color that reminds you of your emotional distress. And then the revitalize step is to do some gentle shaking of your arms and legs while you're breathing to kind of reset your whole system. So I'd like you now to pick some issue that you have fear and anxiety about. And it's helpful if it's a specific event. And I'm going to take you through the tapping process. So I'm going to actually stop the screen share now so that you can see me doing the tapping and you can mirror what I do. Now, I'm going to walk you through the tapping process. So think of a specific event from your past. It could be yesterday, it could be 30 years ago, where you experience fear and anxiety. And when you think about that event, you feel it in your body. So tune in to where you're feeling in your body, and you can give it a score. Is it a, 5 or 10 to be something you don't even want to think about because it makes you react so strongly. Something around a 5 or 6 is a good place to start when you're just learning this technique for the first time. So once you've tuned into your event, I'm just going to be saying, even though I have this fear and anxiety from the past, I deeply and completely accept myself. So some event that you've had in the past, and that we will work to remove that program, that malware program from your body. So find your sore spot by going to the middle of your collarbone, work your way down onto the ribs. And when you find a sore spot in between the ribs, say, even though I have this fear and anxiety from the past, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have this fear and anxiety from the past, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have this fear and anxiety from the past, I deeply and completely accept myself. Start tapping on the eyebrow point, second and third finger, say, fear and anxiety from the past. Side of your eye, fear and anxiety from the past. Under your eye, fear and anxiety from the past. Under your nose, fear and anxiety from the past. On your chin, fear and anxiety from the past. And now go to the collarbone point. It could be on either side, whichever is more comfortable. I tend to cross over. Fear and anxiety from the past. Under your arm, on the ribs under your arm, fear and anxiety from the past. And then the lower ribs, I'm going to go right below the breast, or the lowest ribs you can find. You can't quite see it on this view, but right down there. Fear and anxiety from the past. And top of your head, fear and anxiety from the past. Take a deep breath in of your favorite color and breathe out a color associated with the stress you're experiencing. And then we're going to switch hands and go to the other side. So tap on the eyebrow point on the other side, fear and anxiety from the past. The side of your eye, fear and anxiety from the past. Under your eye, fear and anxiety from the past. Under your nose, fear and anxiety from the past. On your chin, fear and anxiety from the past. Collarbone, fear and anxiety from the past. On your arm, fear and anxiety from the past. Lower ribs, fear and anxiety from the past. So that's doing another round of desensitization. Top of your head, we're just going to do this one more time. So we're repeating the first step 3 times. Fear and anxiety from the past, 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 and fear and anxiety from the past. So you should have the hang of the desensitization step. I repeated it 3 times just to make sure you got the hang of it. Now we're going to switch the hands and go into the awfulize phase. So fear and anxiety from the past, side of your eye, it's worse than I remember. Under your eye, I'm afraid it's going to be stuck in my body forever. Under your nose, it haunts me to this day. Chin, I've tried things to release it and nothing works. Collarbone, I'm afraid it'll be there forever. Under your arm, it might even get worse. Lower ribs, it might even happen again. Top of your head, that fear and anxiety from the past. So deep breath in and out. Now we're going to go to the neutralize step and go fear and anxiety from the past, side of your eye. It's gone, I'm healed. And then under your eye, say, oh, that sounds like bullshit. Under your nose, well, maybe it took the edge off a little bit. On your chin, I doubt that tapping does anything. On your collarbone, if it does work, that would be great. On your arm, I would need some proof. Lower ribs, I'm curious to see if it's going to work. Top of your head, I wonder what's going to happen. Take another deep breath in and out. Favorite color in, breathe out. And by this time, you should be completely confused because we were going back, jumping back and forth and arguing with ourselves. So the next step is the visualize step. We're going to put in the positive new program. So say, I want emotional freedom now, letting go of the past. I'm moving forward with confidence. I'm raising my vibrations. I'm going to focus on what I really want. I'm going to re-energize my body. I'm going to use tapping for all my other issues, and I might even have fun doing this. Top of your head, I'm ready to move forward into the future. And now close your eyes and do some deep breathing in and out. So get your favorite color going in and nasty color going out, and just keep breathing a little faster and a little deeper than you ordinarily would. So keep breathing in and out, in and out, in and out. And as you feel the colors you like coming out your fingers, out your toes, start to shake your fingers, shake your toes. You can control the rate at which the energy moves by how fast you breathe. So just breathe in and breathe out. Let that energy flow through you. And breathe. And then when you're ready, just let yourself calm down and go to your favorite healing spot, somewhere out in nature, a vacation place where you really like to visit for a few minutes. Go there with all your senses. What do you smell there? What do you hear there? What do you, feel? Anything else you want to experience to feel like you're really there. And when you're there, I want you to imagine looking down at your feet and looking on the ground for a healing object you can pick up off the ground and hold in your hand. It can be any object. You're going to use it as a recycling tool. So just pick that object up, drain any of the fear and anxiety out of your body into that object, and do a little ritual to send it back to the earth. It'll be recycled and turned into compost. Once you've done that, then you can invite a spirit guide to come visit you in your place. It can usually either be an angel, an ancestor, or an animal, some spirit animal, some sort. Generally, don't use beings who are still alive. And so invite them in, ask them for some advice, what to do about your fear and anxiety. I'll give you a second or two to have that conversation. And then invite them to go on a little time travel journey with you back into your past. And this time travel can take you back to a previous peak experience you had, sometime when you really felt confident and safe and secure and powerful, and were having really a wonderful experience. So go back to that. It can be as far back in the past as you want. And when you get there, imagine yourself in that scene and someone's taking a picture of it. And you remember exactly who was there, what was going on, and remember what the feeling was like, and then assign a color to that feeling. What color did that feel like? What reminds you of that experience? And when you've done that, then make a picture frame to put around that picture with that color around it. Put that picture frame up on your wall and breathe that color into your body. Just breathe that back into your body so you really feel the experience of that past peak event. Once you've gotten that in your body, then get back in your time machine and go to the near past, the last, whatever thing you were tapping on. And let's think of a way, if you were a Hollywood scriptwriter, you would rewrite that script any way you want to make a more positive outcome. So just revisit that issue you were working with when we started out and think about creative ways you could have done something different. You can even think of a couple different scenarios as if they're parallel universes and you just had to find the right parallel universe. So make up a couple different possible outcomes. And once you've done that to your satisfaction, get back in your time machine and go into the future where this is all behind you. You're healed, you're back on track, feeling emotionally balanced and healthy. See yourself in the future. It could be days, weeks, or months in the future, however long that takes. And notice how that feels. And fully immerse yourself into that future experience. Put a picture frame around it, and put a color around that represents that feeling. And breathe that color into your body. And as you do that, step forward into that picture, merging with your future self. It's like a magnet attracting you into the future. Once you've done that, stretch, deep breath, and come on back. Open your eyes and check in with your body. And notice whatever phrase, the fear and anxiety from the past we were working with. Say that phrase again and check in with your body and see how it feels. What's your score now? Did it go up, down, or stay the same? And did the thing you were tapping on stay the same? Sometimes it'll go up initially and then go way down, and then some other more important event will pop up that might even be even higher. And so your number afterwards might be higher, but you might have already moved on to the next round of tapping. And it's always peeling the layers of the onion to get to the real core issues when you're tapping. So that's a basic introduction to how to do the emotional freedom techniques with the Danvir protocol. And I am going to screen share again and go back to finish the rest of the slides. All right. So that's what we just did. And we're going to now move to a summary of what we did after the tapping. So we did the imagery after the Danvir tapping was we went to a preferred place and safe place in nature, a healing object release ritual that we did, spirit guide, invitation to an animal, angel or ancestor. We had time travel back to a positive experience and travel forward to rewrite a negative script that you were dealing with. And then a future visualization of the positive outcome. And there are videos on my website which will take you through this as well. And this particular video will be available through OHS as well. Now, sometimes these emotions get stuck in your body and create physical symptoms. So you have to ask questions about connectedness. If there was an emotional reason why this doesn't heal, what would it be? And notice that physical problems usually have emotional components. Resolve the emotional issues, and often the physical symptom is decreased or eliminated. Now, for this reason, I offer free 20-minute coaching consults, often free phone calls at 4:30 or 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time most weekdays, to evaluate whether your health issue might be treatable with EFT hypnosis and dream work. I particularly specialize in dealing with pain, immune, and sinus conditions, but many other things can also be amenable to tapping and this kind of work. And if we feel like it's a fit on the free call, then we can schedule an 80-minute Zoom coaching session, and the details about the coaching program are at letmagichappen.com/coaching. When OHS is open, I usually see clients 2 mornings a week there, and the rest of the time I'm doing Zoom from home. If you want more information, you can go to the letmagichappen.com website. Also, larryburk.com takes you to the same place. There are free links to my original tapping video from 2011, which is very similar. There's a handout there. You can see my TEDx Dream Talk, information about books and the blogs that I've written. It's also free Symptoms as Metaphors, two-part video series, which lasts about 45 minutes. Talks all about the symbolism of your physical symptoms. You can also sign up for a monthly newsletter with a free subscription with an opt-in gift of the top 10 self-healing mind, body, spirit techniques from the appendix of Let Magic Happen, with little video links to teach you how to do each one. I'm going to stop the screen share. And if you want to ask more questions, you can contact me through the website. And I would encourage you to do some tapping at least once a day. I always say, if you didn't remember to tap during the day, just tap before you go to bed. Clear out whatever was the worst thing that happened to you that day, so you don't wake up with it the next morning. You'll sleep better that night. And check out the website for other applications, my other blogs about EFT for dealing with things like fear, like we started today, grief, or anger. So those are all things you can tap on. The grief is related to sinus conditions, anger is related to pain, and the fear is often at the root of autoimmune disease. So check out larryburk.com and feel free to contact me anytime you need coaching advice. Thank you very much.